6 feet between your party and others.
That's right, everyone. We are back at SeaWorld. We are here because this is the first weekend for our inside look. That's right, SeaWorld's behind the scenes. And select locations. We brought it back this weekend and next weekend. Okay, just like last time, there'll be 6 locations that SeaWorld has picked for inside look. This time they include the Fish House, SeaWorld Rescue Center once again, Antarctica, Empire of the Penguin again, Pacific Point Preserve, Shark Encounter, and Orca Encounter. Also new this year will be Trainer Talks. So Trainer Talks at Dolphin Days, Sea Lion High, Sharks Underwater Grill Dive Team, but you have to eat in the restaurant, and Orca Encounter. Again, the event runs this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and then next weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And it runs from 11 to 7 p.m. during that time. All right, inside look, once again. And as always, inside look locations are easily marked by the flags and by the signs, such as that one right there for the rescue center. Okay, the first trainer talk is coming right up. It's here at Dolphin Days. So where a trainer will talk about 20 minutes before the show starts. So let's come on in, find the location. So Dolphin Days Trainer Talk. Here we go.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Inside Look at Dolphin Days Stadium. We are so excited that you guys could join us today to get an inside look at how we train our dolphins. Now here we have many Atlantic bottlenose dolphins, but today we're going to show you some training with 2 of our dolphins, and they're going to be coming over right now, and they're both Atlantic bottlenose dolphins. They're both males. We have Gilly and we have Potter. We're going to do a little intro with each of them. Now this is Potter right here. Potter's about 15 years old, and he weighs close to 500 pounds. He's a full-grown male dolphin, and he's going to do a little wave for you guys and show off his tail flukes. There you go, that's Potter. Very nice. And over here we have Gilly. Now Billie Jean's working with Gilly. He's 26 years old. He weighs about 436 pounds. We actually weigh them once a week here at the stadium so we can keep track of those weights pretty routinely. So, you know, these guys have been working with Gilly and Potter for quite some time, and they've developed a very nice relationship with the animals. And when we talk about relationship, it's building that trust and respect or friendship with the dolphins by spending quality time with them and getting to know what they like individually. And some of these guys really seem to enjoy the rub downs, toys, and ice cubes. But something that really gets the dolphins excited is learning new behaviors. That's a big part of what we do here at SeaWorld, is training them new behaviors. It keeps them mentally stimulated and physically stimulated as well. So let's talk about training. The way we train our dolphins is through a system called positive reinforcement. So when the dolphins are doing the things that we're looking for, we reinforce them with a lot of different things. It could be fish, ice cubes, rub downs, a lot of attention. They love all those different types of reinforcement, and that is what drives the behavior to progress and continue. Works really well with your kids as well. It's just like when your kids at home, you have a great routine $20 bill, and some of them like a hug from mom or dad. So same for the dolphins and really getting to know them individually. Now Gilly here is going to be working on a high jump behavior. And the final behavior is to jump straight out of the water, keeping his body straight and clear his entire body, a real athletic behavior, and then land straight back in. So Billie Jean has a tool here called a target pole. Now this target pole, it actually extends Billie Jean's arm out further over the pool because she can't reach way up and over Gilly's head. Now you'll see he'll touch that little white bead on the end of the pole. When he does that, she blows her whistle. Now the whistle tells the dolphins, yes, that's exactly what we're looking for, and then they know they're going to get reinforced. The thing the dolphins don't know is what kind of reinforcement they're going to get. It might be a rub down, it might be a toy or ice cubes. It changes every single time. So it makes it very variable and fun. So we as trainers have to be very creative with our animals so that they never know what kind of reinforcement is coming next. Okay, so now he's going to be touching that target and going straight up and straight down. Billie Jean is looking for him to keep his belly straight to her. And as you can see, you hear that whistle being blown. He was doing that. Now the next step is to take this behavior out to the glass. So Allison's out there at the glass with a target pole, just like Billie Jean's target pole, and she's going to take some approximations with him. Now when we're training a new behavior, we do it in very small steps, and we call those approximations. Now these approximations can be related to when your kids learn how to read, and they learn the alphabet, and then words and sentences, and eventually they can read a whole paragraph. Well, the same thing is true for the dolphins. We do it in very small steps called approximations. Now he's understanding that he needs to come up and touch that target right there. And when he touches the target and stays straight, that's when you're going to hear Billie Jean blow the whistle. And that's when you'll see her have a party for him here at stage, whether it's ice cubes, attention, fish, rub downs, all kinds of stuff. Now he was a little bit crooked at the glass, so she wanted to straighten him out at stage again to get him thinking, okay, I need to keep my belly straight. So here he comes. Very nice. Wow, that was a good one. Did you see how straight he was? Yeah, he was really straight. And he kept up and down and touched that bead. The key is touching that ball on the end of the pole. That's a really important part of the component because we want to get his whole body out of the pool. So to get his whole body out of the pool, we need to make sure we communicate to Gilly, when you touch that white bead, you'll hear the whistle and you'll get all kinds of fun stuff. Wow, that was perfect, Gilly, wow! Fantastic. You know, a big part of our job is to get real excited for the animals. Just like you do with your kids when they have a big report card or they learn how to ride a bike for the first time. We want to get really excited and bring a lot of energy to those approximations that we're looking for. Now Gilly did fantastic with that learning session, and we're going to progress that as time comes on. And if you guys come back to Dolphin Days in a month, I bet you'll see that in the show. The end goal of this behavior is to have him come up and out of the water without the target pole, all on his own, and stay straight with his belly facing the audience, if that makes sense. Well, that was fantastic. I think we're ready for Potter. Now, Potter is younger than Gilly, but he's definitely a lot bigger than Gilly. Potter's a big animal. He's almost 500 pounds. Now, Potter's about 15 years old. He's a little newer to training, so sometimes communicating with him takes a little bit longer. Now, I know it's the same for us and kids. Sometimes kids learn math quicker, and other kids will learn reading quicker, and others will be better in science. It's the same for these guys. So let's see how he does. He's learning something called a fast swim. Now, for the fast swim to be what we're looking for, we want him to do the entire perimeter of this pool. So we want him to kind of swim pretty close to the glass and have that dorsal fin at the surface. Let's see how he does. They're going to give him a hand signal. That little swish means do a fast swim. And there he goes along the glass. Now, Lauren blew the whistle this time for Potter because his dorsal fin was at the surface of the pool, and he did a nice corner. So when you're training behaviors with animals, it's very important to take every step along the way and reinforce each step. That way he's not going to cut the corner and only do half the pool. But he's going to learn very quickly. He hears that whistle and he gets all kinds of fun stuff when he does that entire perimeter. Let's see how he does. Okay, now Allison is helping him out. That's very nice. Now she took the behavior just a little bit longer. bit further along the glass this time. Now what Allison is doing out there is called being a prompter. She is prompting him to stay in that corner with the target pole, and she is helping him out. We like to help the dolphins out each and every day in many different ways, and then when they're ready, we'll take those props away and let them do it on their own. When they do it on their own, they get even more reinforcement and a big party for doing it that way. So we're going to try this again. We're going to see if we can get him to do the whole perimeter and that corner without cutting the pool. There he goes. Dorsal fins out of the water. That's very nice. He's cruising along the glass. Let's see how he does. And he's going to get that corner very nicely. Perfect. Let's hear it for Potter. Now you guys can easily see that the timing of Lauren's whistle, or bridge as we call it, is very important. That's a critical part of this behavior because that's the way we communicate to the animals when they're on the far side of the pool. Yes, that's what we want. So because we don't talk to them verbally, but we use hand signals, body signals, and whistles, we need to let them know at that exact moment, we wanted you to stay in that corner, and you did. So thank you very much. Then she'll have a party with him and go ahead and reinforce him a lot for that. So that's, again, the approximations. You saw the approximations with the fast swim, where along the glass she took a different part of the behavior each time. That's taking those approximations. But the first thing we do as trainers, as I mentioned, is develop that relationship so that you know your animals. You got to know your animals and what's very exciting to them to be able to train new behaviors. Now, a lot of what we train here at SeaWorld are called husbandry or healthcare behaviors. And we train those behaviors so we can make sure that they're healthy. So things like getting a voluntary blood. These guys are great at doing voluntary bloods. They're much better at giving a blood sample than we are. So look here, we're going to show you how we get a blood sample, because these are critical behaviors that we train. These behaviors help us make sure the animals are healthy, and they help us with research that benefits dolphins and whales in the oceans. Okay, so for a blood sample, he's going to hold his breath and roll over, and he's going to put his tail right in Billie Jean's lap very gently. Now Allison's going to pretend to be the vet. This is how we get to the point where we can actually get that blood sample. See how calm he is? And he's holding his breath and just relaxed? That's what we're looking for. Now we're going to do something called desensitization. We're going to touch that tail and have him not react. And we want to touch that tail and kind of prod around, and that's going to show them that you're going to get reinforced for ignoring everything that's happening on that tail right now. So when the vets come in and put a needle into the vein, they're very relaxed and they ignore that. Now these dolphins are amazing at doing blood samples, and we're so proud of them because this helps us keep them healthy and be very proactive in the medical management of this collection of animals. Now these two also do a lot of other behaviors for health care. They'll do fecal samples, they'll do sonogramming, and they'll even do blowhole samples. Now what we can do is we can ask them to exhale. So Billie Jean's giving him a hand signal, he's letting air out of that blowhole. And we can take a petri dish, a little round petri dish, and collect what's going on in their lungs on that petri dish. And this is amazing for a lot of reasons, to make sure they stay healthy, and also for research as well. So you can see that we do a lot of healthcare behaviors with our dolphins each and every day. And we love that these contribute to research and helping animals in the environment. Very important to us. All right, now one of our other interactions that we'd like to touch on today and show you is called a playtime. So we develop relationships with the animals, we train them new behaviors, and we have a lot of fun. So Potter and Gilly really seem to enjoy interacting with toys. And you'll see that they'll toss these toys around, they'll toss them back to their trainers. They're just gonna have a great time today. This is part of building that reinforcement history or relationship with the dolphins. Now dolphin toys come in all different shapes and sizes. You can see they have some white buoys right now. We have a lot of different toys in our toy box, and we have a toy box at all of our dolphin areas, so all of our animals get a high level of enrichment. Now enrichment is a huge part of SeaWorld's initiative with the dolphins, and all the other animals actually, and that is to provide them with a lot of different stimulation in their environment, such as a lot of different toys, and a lot of different session types. Well, it looks like they're doing great today. Doing really good. They had a great session. So we have a lot of different dolphins here at males right now. And what we'll do is we'll do training sessions with the dolphins between the shows. So each group of dolphins will get different learns, relationship sessions, playtime sessions like this throughout the day. And there's a lot of variety in each day for the dolphins, and quite honestly, for the trainers as well. Each day is a little bit different for every trainer and every dolphin. Now, Gilly and Potter may participate in another learn session today, and maybe a relationship or play session too. And tomorrow may be a totally different day for them, where they focus on husbandry and separating to different pools. So separations are a huge part of what we do as well. We'll ask animals to separate from pool to pool. That way we can work different groups of animals on different behaviors. It's very helpful. And then sometimes we'll open up the gates and put them all together, and they are one big pod. So that's also a very big part of the variety here at Dolphin Days each and every day. Well, it looks like these guys did great today. And speaking of separations, I think they're going to wave goodbye to you folks and then separate up to the back as we get ready for our first Dolphin Days show. So let's give it up for Gilly and Potter. All right, and now we're going to go for that separation. So let's watch this whole process of a separation. It is a huge behavior that we need. So we're going to ask the animals to sit at stage while we open the pool door. Once that pool door is all the way open, they're going to point them up. There they go. And don't get excited yet. Wait till that pool door closes, and that is the final behavior of the separation. And I bet that you guys know, once they do that separation, they'll get a lot of different reinforcement in the back. And that can be a whole variety of things, just like it was out front. It could be toys, ice cubes, rub downs. Who knows? They might get a whole other learn session in the back. And it looks like they separated. Well done! Well, we're really excited to have you here for our first Dolphin Day show. So if you want to sit back and relax, we'll be back with you in just a few minutes. Thank you for joining us for Inside Look.
Okay, first up on our location will be Fish House. Fish House is where SeaWorld prepares and distributes the fish for all the SeaWorld's animals. So we're going to go back there and check that out in just a few moments. Obviously due to social distancing, and it's a backstage area. Only a select few go in at a time. So we'll just have to wait our turn. Alright.
20 minutes later.
Alright everybody, we are going to go inside the fish house. As you're going to see at the door, we do have a black mat. Please wipe your feet as you come in. We like to keep this space as clean as possible. And we're going to just kind of gather around to the left. Okay? Welcome to the fish house. The commissary, as some people call it. How does it smell? touch line. Pretty gross. Do you guys have any questions? Nothing? I can't believe it. Well, I'm going to tell you the first ship that comes into this building every day right now comes in at 6 a.m. There's usually a minimum of 3 people, sometimes more, if we're lucky, that are going to start breaking out fish for the day at that time. And as I said, throughout the day, different areas are going to come in and utilize the space to prep their food for the next day or even that day. So you guys actually just missed a bunch of our aquarium team. They came in and they were prepping food for their animals for tomorrow, which includes a lot of chowing and weighing and separating. Pretty cool? Still no questions?
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, there we go. All right.
Do they eat the same type of fish and amount of fish every single day, or does it vary?
Generally, yes. Depending on the species that we're talking about. So sharks, for example, some species of shark are only eating twice a week. The dolphins, they're eating roughly the same amount every day. Does that make sense? It all depends on the species and how they metabolize their food. Yes, sir? What?
What are the color like?
Oh, the color lights. So basically, they're actually not super used right now, but those would be emergency response. If we had some emergency somewhere that we needed to help out with, we use those lights. Cool? Any other questions? Very good. So we work very hard to only do sustainable species of fish. So whether that means they're coming from a catch or they're being farmed, it just depends on the species of fish and the time of year and how plentiful they are. So a lot of the fish comes from Canada, but it can just depend. I'm not certain of that actually. You know, Nick is the mullet local? Yeah, he was up. Nick does a lot of the ordering of our fish. So he's very knowledgeable. Alright, so if you don't have any more questions, we're going to head back to where you came, but we're going to stop this time at the freezer. I'm going to open the door and let you guys get a look in there. We're not going to go inside. It is slippery and it's about negative 14 degrees. So we're going to stay in the doorway and I'm going to open up the flap so you can get a good look in there. Sound good? Alright. I've actually gotten frostbite because of my ears from being in there before. I'm from Florida, so I was like, why are my ears black? Any other questions before we start walking? Pretty good? I don't think I told you this, but that's only a week's supply. About 8 days supply. We get delivery once a week. Alright, we're going to come back this way.
Okay, that was fun. So now we're going to head on to the next location, which I visited before, the rescue center. Okay, next up, the SeaWorld Rescue Center. Wow, there's no one online for this one.
Hi. Hi, I'm gonna start with how many of you area before? Yeah, okay. So everyone else is newbies to back here. Perfect. My name's Ashley. I'm part of the rescue team. So where you guys are pretty much our home base for all the rescues. So my team is responsible for the rescue of manatees, dolphins, turtles, and birds. You name it, we have to find it, deal with it, rescue it, treat it. The idea behind our rescue program is that we bring it here, we are the hospital. The goal is to get everything that we rescue back out into the wild. How long they're going to be here is a question I get all the time. I have no idea. It depends on the injury that they're coming in with. For our manatees in particular, they are our #1 mammal rescue here in Florida. Have you guys been to SeaWorld? I should say ask too. Yes to SeaWorld. SeaWorld. You've been to SeaWorld before? Yeah.
But
So
not
you've-
here.
But not back here. Perfect. But you've seen our manatee area, where we have all the manatees. Every manatee in that pool was a rescue. So they've been with us, depending on what their injury is, however long. We have multiple pools back there that are more for rehab, and some are just holding pools until an animal is gaining weight. Orphan manatees. They're the babies that you always see in the PR photos that we're bottle feeding, adorable. They are probably the hardest animal that we have to do because it is around the clock every 3 hours. They're either being toothed or giving a bottle. So our hours don't ever stop. But the idea with these guys is once they start increasing that body weight, we can start to get them onto solid foods. They start eating lettuce. We can bring them into those bigger pools. Now, because they were rescued as an orphan, that means they had no mother figure to teach them the ways of the wild. They would like, and when I said they, is FWC, government agencies, want them to be at least 600 pounds before they can be released. So the animals that you see in that main exhibit out there, the big exhibit, are all in a holding. So that means we're just waiting for them to gain more weight, but other than that, they are pretty much healthy and can go. So once they gain that weight, they're released. Now the pool out there that has the false bottom floor, so that's going to be the floor that you can actually see, that we can lift up. Those are our most critical cases right now. So those are the manatees that we're actually tubing, doing injections to, we're giving medication to every single day. They're going to be with us for a little bit longer. This rescue boat right here is designed for manatees. This is designed to pull manatees on board, and that's why you don't see a back to this. It's also why the motor is in the middle. So you can pull them on, we can assess what the injury is. Sometimes you can release on site. Most often or not, they're actually coming back here to be rehabbed. So we rehab them, and then hopefully once they get a clean bill of health, right back out to it.
Where's the most popular place you have to rescue them? Wakaiva Springs or something like that?
Wakaiva, yes and no. Homosassa Springs, a lot of times. Believe it or not, random place. We've gone to Virginia this year. Last year.
Virginia.
My years are mixing together. Virginia, South Carolina, North Carolina,
wow.
Alabama. They actually just got back from Louisiana. Everywhere. So unfortunately, manatees learn to like travel real far, and then it gets cold, and then they get stuck, and that's the problem. Is once it gets too cold and they can't get back, they can't fall to those warm water, they get stuck there, and then we have to bring them back to Florida waters.
Yeah.
The only positive that sometimes with cold stress, if it's not too severe, we can actually rehab them pretty fast, get them in warm water, get them eating again, get their body regulated, and then hopefully their blood work comes back with a clean bill of health.
So why did they go all the way up there for?
Because they can actually follow warm water upstreams to follow food. I mean, they eat vegetation, but a lot of them just keep on swimming. If it's warm water, they can follow it. The problem is up north, the temperature changes like that. That means that water drops real fast. So they follow it, it's nice and warm, and then all of a sudden they get stuck there and it's cold. Do you guys have any other questions about rescue?
What was the tubing you talked about?
Oh, tubing. So when they first come, most likely they are not going to be eating right away, especially if they've been emaciated, they've been malnourished. So tubing is simply us putting a tube into their stomach and first starting them with just hydration. A lot of times just giving them water right away. And then if they don't start kicking in with eating, we make them a gruel, which is romaine lettuce, spinach, and monkey chow and water, like a giant green smoothie, and we pump it into their stomach. The idea, we want to start seeing body movement, we want to start seeing bowel movements to know that they're getting the calories that they need. A lot of times too, that giving them that gruel kickstarts their eating, and that's what we want to see.
Okay.
Any other questions for me? No. All right, you guys have another stop in here. You're going actually straight that way. She's waving at you under the blue awning. Okay. Yep, that's your next stop. You're welcome, guys. Bye.
You need somebody?
stay within your group, but perfect. Welcome everyone. My name is Letitia. I am a senior one aquarist here at SeaWorld. I've been here about 13 years. What you are seeing behind me is called Aquarium Quarantine. So it's going to be for any shark, fish, ray, or invertebrate that might need some extra attention. Or for us, I think got pretty familiar with your quarantine in the last few months here, unfortunately. But any shark, fish, ray, or invertebrate that might come to us from another facility, like another zoo or aquarium, is going to pass through this building and get that quarantine period before they go out into one of our exhibits here in the park. We want to make sure that they are happy, healthy, eating, defecating, doing all the things that they should before they join one of our habitats in the park. So that is one reason why animals might come through this building. Another reason might be if we have a pregnant female on property already, or its babies at least, her babies. We want to make sure that those babies are getting that extra TLC, that extra watchful eye, making sure that they are eating and defecating, able to get food, etc. And then a third reason might be if something is feeling a little under the weather, or we aren't sure if they're feeling a little under the weather, or if maybe they're getting picked on a little bit, or maybe being that bully, need a little time out from their friends for a little bit. We can do all those kinds of things as well through this building. And remembering that for any shark, fish, ray, or invertebrate, no birds or mammals would be passing through this building. So a little bit about what you're seeing behind me. All the pools are set up in freezer floors. The pools do get bigger as you go back towards the back of the building. We want to make sure that all of our animals get their own individual space. And then also we're able to really dial in those water qualities and chemistries per species by having their own set of water all around of our building. So like I said, anything small and medium would be housed inside our building here. And then anything larger is going to be out in the system of pools out here. If you didn't assume you're going to walk that way and walk back this way, look left. So any large shark, fish, or ray that might need attention will be housed in one of those. And like I said, if something is feeling under the weather, it does need a little extra care. Our world-class veterinary service and laboratory is located right next door to our building here. So if we do have an issue, we can just pop on over and ask the vet to come over and take a look at anything we might need. Steph is down there and she's going to give you a very good look into that area. Any questions that I can help answer? No? Okay, good. All right, well, Steph should be down there. You guys can just go ahead and start off.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Thank you.
Cada uno con las habilidades.
My name is Stephanie, I'm one of the veterinary nurses. Right here, you are at our zoo operations building, and it houses our lab and pharmacy, which is right behind you in those windows, and then also our veterinary hospital. So what's great about our lab is that it's very unique to have such a big lab like this on site at a zoo. And we have our very own lab staff, and they're actually certified to work in human hospitals. So they just taken what they know and adapted it to all the different type of animal bloods. They also run water quality twice a day, and they compare that with our water quality team, just so we have a bunch of checks and balances going on all the time to make sure that our animals have the best water quality. This is very important for our fish and whales and things like that. Do you guys have any questions about the lab, the pharmacy? No, thank you. Okay. We'll keep going. This is actually the most exciting part, I think. Our animal hospital. We actually have a two-toed sloth in there right now, Mila. She's getting her routine exam. So she's under anesthesia. She is sleeping. They just got done with radiographs.
When did you start work here?
I went to a university in Kentucky. I did 4 years, so I do have a bachelor's degree. And then I did some internships and worked with some other exotic animals in other parts of the country, and then I got a job here. Yeah.
Zoology or bachelor's in what?
Yeah, veterinary technology. Yeah. So right now Mila's in there. She has gotten a blood sample that they're going to get to the lab. And another great thing about our lab is that when we give them a blood sample, they can have the full panel done in about 30 minutes. So our vets know exactly what's going on with that animal.
What is in there?
A two-toed sloth.
Oh.
So they also took radiographs. They're going to do a thorough abdominal ultrasound just to make sure all of her organs look the way that they're supposed to.
What's wrong with that?
Just a check up.
We get excellent health care here.
Yes,
I know,
there you
yeah.
go.
It's a Obamacare they got here?
Yeah, right? Let's see what else. And then about our veterinary staff, we have 4 veterinarians and 3 nurses like myself. We're all females, so SeaWorld loves girl power. And we're very busy ladies. We take care of all the animals here at SeaWorld, Discovery Cove, Aquatica, and then all the rescues that come in too.
Okay. That's was it a two-toe sloth?
Yes.
Two-toe.
2 toes. So she's got 2 toes in the front.
Okay. Is it like a one-toe sloth?
There's a 3 toe.
Oh, it's 3. Oh.
Yes.
And you just having a routine examination?
Yep.
Well, I've never seen any sloths around here. Is
They're in
it?
Discovery Cove.
Oh, Discovery Cove. Ah.
Yeah, so they have a special program where they'll bring them out at certain points of the day, and then guests can like interact, like pet a sloth and like interact with them.
They're cute. Are they as slow as they really are?
Yep, they're really slow.
Is their heartbeat real slow? Is that why they are?
What's that?
Their heartbeat per minute is really slow. Is that why they
They're a
are?
little slower than.
Or just naturally slow?
They're just usually all around slow, but if they're kind of in a grumpy mood, they can be pretty fast if they're like get away from me, like.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So they can have
Good to
little
know.
bursts of energy if they need to. So yeah, I know our hospital looks pretty small, but we have had dolphins, manatees, walruses in there. That's mostly for like a surgery though if you need it. We actually go out into the park to take care of the majority of our animals. All of our equipment's made to be mobile and semi-waterproof if we should take it. And the great thing about working at SeaWorld, we have such great trainers and coopers that all of our animals are trained to do voluntary procedures with us. So they'll let us get their blood, let us take x-rays, and it just makes it more comfortable for them when they can do it in their habitat. Yeah.
All the equipment is purchased or is it donated to you guys?
No,
or-
we purchased it.
Purchased
Yep,
it.
it's ours. Yep, so we're trying to always have the best, most recent equipment that we can have. Yeah, but we have x-ray equipment that's digital, and we can take it out into the park. We have ultrasounds that are mobile. We have...
What about the microscopes? What make the microscopes do you use?
I don't know what...
It's not Olympus down there.
Oh yeah, so that would be in the lab. We have gastroscopy equipment. We're always doing gastroscopies and other kind of scopes on the animals.
So top equipment and top health. Gets it done.
I'm very lucky, yes. More questions? You're welcome. You guys can go back down the sidewalk, past where you were, and somebody will show you how to get out. Okay?
Great fight.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
We're in the country.
Okay, well that was cool. So now we're going to move on. I think I'm going, since it's 12 o'clock, I think I'm going to take a quick break for our lunch. Then we'll resume. One thing I forgot to mention is that inside look is included with park admission. So you don't need anything extra to take part. The only thing is that you need to make reservations in order for you to come to the park. But then once you're here, you can enjoy everything here. And again, inside look is a part of your admission. So nothing extra. Okay, moving on. There are 3 inside look areas in close proximity right here. Got Antarctica. Dealing with human care and conservation. Also right over there. It's Clyde and Seymour. Sea Lion High Trainer Talk. And right up here is Pacific Point Preserve. Go down think you're going to jump over and join penguins. And again, for find locations, all we need to do is look for the facts.
A few moments later.
Separate exhibit, which is usually not open to the public except for tours. So we brought these guys up here so you guys can get a chance to see them up close. They are the 6th species of penguin that we have here. We have 5 in our big exhibit, which is go right around the corner. And then we have these guys.
No worries, I know. I like tunnel vision for the penguins. I totally get it.
18 different kinds of penguins, yep. And all of them are found in the southern hemisphere, but anywhere from the Galapagos Islands all the way down to Antarctica. And most penguins are not found in Antarctica or really anywhere here. Most of them are found up the coast of South America.
If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Oh yeah, there you go. Because they're tired.
I wouldn't blame them.
I mean, this is a nice relaxing place. People come by, they can watch it. It's just kind of like sitting in an easy chair watching TV.
I'd just be sitting in that water.
Well, they're not really in the water right now. I saw that hippo. She hit you right in the face.
They probably just want to see all the people.
Yeah, they do want to see the people. People are fun.
What type of penguins are they?
Oh, yeah.
These are Magellanic penguins. They're a warm weather species, which means we can bring them in here so you guys can see them and they won't get too hot. Those guys in there don't like to go above about 34 degrees. These guys don't like to go below about 50.
So these are like the ones you find
Kind of
in
like
the
me.
garden?
Those are actually African black-footeds.
Okay.
Similar type of bird. There are 4 species that are these warm weather double-banded ones.
Okay.
African black-footeds. These are Magellanics. There's Humboldts and then Galapagos.
At Busch Gardens, there one of the penguins at Busch Gardens, he's a show-off. He likes to go. He's the only one that goes around the tank. Once people come up to the tank, he's the only one. He's the first one to jump in the water and he's swimming around the glass.
So looking at people. I mean, these guys are looking at you.
Hi.
That's Rachel. She's really looking at you. She's like, "Oh, I like pink. I'd like the technology piece." I know. Nobody gives you a phone. All you want is a phone. Be activated. Perfect.
That one's still a baby. Baby.
Well, she's a year and a half old.
So she's still in her baby feathers.
Yep, she's still in her baby feathers. She says, "Oh, I gotta get past him. He's gonna bite me in the butt." So there's the 3 babies right there. The 4th one stayed behind at their normal exhibit to do tours today.
You want to go over to that one? So the people can see?
Guys, there's plenty of space, you know? There's a whole bunch of space.
They're like, nope.
Boys. You okay, baby?
You doing good, Tim?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
The big dirty.
This year, we checked them out.
They're like, we'll say that she laid it like before midnight. Alright folks, if you want to take your last few pictures, we will be opening the door for you to move on to the rest of the exhibit to see the penguins from a different angle. So take your last couple pictures and then we'll have you move on.
They lie. Big piles of rocks.
And keep in mind that, of course, today is the first day of Inside Look. We have one of the entrances over by the purple and orange building on the upper side of the exhibit for the behind the scenes for the sea lion area. Also, at the very front of at the entrance of our exhibit, you'll probably also see the entrance for the penguin Inside Look area. So keep in mind, those are there. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. And
Okay, because of they're getting ready to do a feed in a few minutes, there's no guarantee. So we'll come back to Pacific Point later. All right, so let's move on.